Gone and so is Biggie. I'm up with Hops and J. Cole and Kenny.
I think the thing with him is, I don't think he's the exact same. There was no growth into whatever situation. I don't know what his personal life is like, but when you see that, put a picture back into the 90s, and there's not a difference of that to what he is right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his growth, I don't know what his experience is, what his life was, but that right there, if that's who you are, you feel comfortable, sure. But at the same time, yeah, like there has to be some type of growth.
Welcome to Adults Say the Wildest Things. Got an excellent topic for y'all. So I'm gonna get right into it. We got a topic that has to do with why is it that men, or I would say people in general, why is it that they can't, I guess, evolve or what's the word I'm looking for? I guess maybe just kind of grow up from being a teenager. So right here, I got a video of Lil Wayne on the Undisputed show with Skip and Shannon. So I'm just gonna get right into it.
The Lakers can go as far as Brian take them, and as far as AD's health taking. I mean, I believe if Brian and AD is out there, I don't think it. I don't think it'd be too. I don't think Russ could hurt the. You gotta remember, it ain't like Brian and AD was out there.
Right.
It's not. We weighing it from what happened.
Right.
I mean, I had to stop the video because I was trying not to laugh, but why do you think Lil Wayne, you see how he looks with the yellow hair and all that? Why do you think that grown men, I think he's mid-40s, late 40s, why do you think a grown man like him cannot just let go of that stage of being a youth?
I just think a lot of it is society, especially with entertainers. A lot of it's money. So whatever you can attract or whatever you can please to your audience, you're probably going to do some things that most people probably wouldn't do. And if you get to a certain level, I think you want to maintain. And the things they make you do when you're trying to maintain that level when you're getting older, it's not an old person's world. You know what I mean? It's a young person's world. Anything you see, it's always young. 22, 23, 25, and you want to stick to that group. So when you get older, you have to make yourself look younger, act younger, and it stops the maturity of, I think, the men that are sitting there in the entertainment business.
Yeah, I agree. Society puts pressure on you, youth, young. Even like anti-aging creams and stuff like
Ageism.
that. Yeah,
Ageism.
But I get the whole trying to stay young and look young, but mentally, there's no growth. I mean, dude looking like Beetlejuice. I mean, I like Lil Wayne, no disrespect, don't come at my neck, but I mean at 40 plus, I mean, you gotta be able to still look young, cool and hip, but have a more mature mindset.
I think it's to each his own. Like, I guess, like for you, for exactly what you're saying, for you, that's exactly what that means. As an adult, you should be able to carry yourself a certain way, look a certain way the situation is. Everybody's different, bro. And it's like nowadays you see it. A lot of people watching his content are 20s. So he's sitting there, he has to appeal to those kind of people. So if he looks like them, talks like them, act like that age, then you're gonna get the money that you're asking for.
That's true.
The people his age are not buying his albums. We've already heard everything the best of Weezy. You know what I mean? So people are not buying it. So for you to stay relevant, you gotta do some stuff, and I'll say you'll sell your soul or nothing like that, but you know what I mean? It doesn't look like you're yourself as much as you want to be.
So what would you say if someone who's not a celebrity, like what would they?
That's coming into parenting. I think a lot of it's parenting in society, because how you condition your kid as a kid, the values you teach him is what the adult person is, you know what I mean? So if you sit there and then give your kid, and you babied him until he was 25, 30, he's not gonna be able to, he's gonna understand, he's still gonna be that baby because he doesn't understand the values of what the things that he wasn't ever taught. So if you are what you are at that age, and by the time you get to your mid-20s, 25, you are what you are. There's no change. You might do things differently.
Might tweak things.
But for the most part, your mentality is going to be what it is. So if it doesn't develop, that's what you were going to be.
And that's actually going to segue to, we both know Stephen Jackson, the basketball player. I'm going to segue to this next video showing that not just their society pushing youth in terms of how we dress, and I'm just more so wanting to play this video to show mindset and how I think kids these days in society think that being hood and street is being masculine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play this video real quick.
Yeah. A lot of y'all be in old block pulling up, taking pictures. Where we at?
Tell them how they coming.
We in the middle of it. What do you mean? Y'all pull up and take pictures and y'all not allowed to.
They sneak.
And one thing about it, if you're a real one, you don't mind checking in.
Checking in. What'd you say?
I check in with the real one. That's why I'm in the middle of old block.
Where you at?
You see the hoop?
Where you at?
I'm in the middle of old block. Listen, man.
Middle is bitch where the people's be, you know what I'm saying? Where the real people's be, man. We out here
Shit you can't pay for.
rap count.
No rap cap. Shit you can't pay for. You mean? We really out here. Old block. Shot town.
So I gotta stop that video because it just blows my mind. He's saying that we in the middle of it and I gotta check in. Like, how old is this dude? Like 50 plus? He's talking about checking in? You see the dude, Jackson beside looks like a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old. Why is it that we always associate with being thug masculine? Like,
Yeah, that one's cultural too. So most black people in general, black men or whatever, if you come from the hood, that is almost like the almost ultimate respect. That whatever you can come from the hood and get the respect from the hood, that is more than almost anything in the world. So when you get to a certain level now and you're going backwards, like for me, Steven Jackson, I've seen him play basketball since I was a kid.
yeah.
I understand who he was, his past. He's not lying about his past. He's not doing anything else. But at a certain age, when you decide to make those millions, why would you go back then down there to get the credibility that you already have?
Yeah.
So why are you've already, now you got to maintain it. Now you got to show that you're still this, you're still that. You're a grown man trying to please kids because kids are watching your show. You see what I'm saying? So now kids are getting the wrong influences, saying that I got to go to the hood. Like, I'm from Jada Fish, born and raised.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not just popping up in Shoreham, this and that. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, like, what am I doing that for?
Yeah.
A kid's gonna see me, a kid doesn't realize who I am. I haven't been here for years, and then they want to do something to me, and I'm gonna say, oh, I'm repping in the hood.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing all that. But like I said, to each his own. But when I look at it and I see that all has, especially celebrities, they all have a certain catch. Anything that's on film, they got to do for whatever the reason is, and it's their bank.
Man, I feel you. I would say though, it's not just, I would say, black kids, or you got white kids, suburban kids copycatting what they see in these hip hop videos, trying to act hood, and they think that's masculine as well.
That's true too.
So I think that the mindset of it is, well, girls like bad guys, so maybe if I act this way, I might attract girls. Maybe that could be a possibility. Or maybe that's all they've seen. There's been fatherless homes. So they think, okay, you know what? I look up to Diddy or 50 Cent, so I want to emulate that. Now the suburban kids, I don't know why they want to.
But in human nature, you always want what you can't get. You know what I mean? So if you're a bourbon kid and you situation, you say, okay, that guy gets respect. I want that same respect. So I'm gonna act like what they do and try to get the respect of what it is. And see, if you put it on film and you put it on camera, that means you want the attention from somebody to see it. So if you're going to the hood and says you're showing off, I'm going to the hood, the average person can't do that. It's like, I can't do, okay, that makes me tough and that makes me this and that. You might have just got somebody killed trying to follow you to situation. It's like, people don't understand this. Someone like Steven Jackson he's a role model. Like, you should be able to tell your kids, like, yo, don't follow exactly everything he does. But kids nowadays are not listening to their parents and they're watching that. And they think, you know what? I got to go back to the hood for me to get my credibility, I'm not going back to the hood, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I go visit my pop. I go visit, say what's going on in the situation, but I'm not going back there to sit there and just walk with my jewels and come in heavy. Like, I'm not doing all so what I can do it. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make me any more gangster than what it is. I think gangsterism is just a thing for kids. It seems like it's a way to get out, but it's another way to just lock you up and go to jail. You know what I mean? It's a situation what it is.
So I ask you this: if I know you're not Stephen Jackson, but if you were him, why do you think he did a video like this for people to see it? Just to look hard or to look masculine?
It's fans. So I'm saying, so he still has his podcast. He still has, he's still being relevant. And how do you be relevant? You're pleased to your audience. So if he's from the hood and hood people watch him, then you go give those props to the people in the hood that are watching. You're pleasing to your crowd, to what it is. So him and Matt Barnes, they got a real good show. And they got they have the burbs and they got the hood. So he's emphasizing he's doing that. It sits down here. It's like, okay, look, if he's in the hood, he's in O Block. How much viewers did he just get on that show?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So
true.
it's also a business deal why he's sitting there in the situation. He's not going there. If he wasn't on no show and he wasn't sitting there doing it, then him filming it would be irrelevant to whatever it is, right? So there's a catch-22 to it. It's just that the average person can't do that because they do that, it's night-night.
He did actually get some backlash for this video though. Some people like, come on, you
grow up, bro.
Yeah, you're old head now. What are you doing?
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's for money. It's a money situation to a point where, because like I said, 4 or 5, if even not 6 kids just said, yo, I'm watching that podcast right now. That's a come up. It's more people on your show to whatever it is. So I see it.
All right, well, I'm going to transition to my next video here. So this person, I think a lot of people know, a rapper named by Coolio. And
if the kids don't know, it's a rapper from way back in the day.
Yeah, like 80s, I think?
No, I think it might have been 90s.
90s, yeah, that's right, 90s. So I'm going to play this video, and it's going to just show him freestyling. I may not play too much of it, but here it is.
Gone and so is Biggie. I'm up with Hops and J. Cole and Kitty.
As you can see, the dude has his hair looking like, I don't know what his head look like. You know, the shrunken head from was it Ace Ventura or The Mask? I don't remember, but he looked like one of them shrunken heads. I gotta YouTube it or Google it or something, and then I gotta Google it and then kind of show up the picture. But you see Coolio, his head looking like that. He thinking that he's still 18. Again, why is it that? And I know he's a celebrity, but he's not as big as like a Lil Wayne or a Stephen Jackson. But why is it that these grown men, or you call them old heads, stuck in the hood, still trying to be cool with these young kids? Like, I think I'm actually gonna break it down to the point where I think that these grown men are actually looking up to the younger guys, and they trying to live their life again through them. So they thinking like, I gotta act, dress like them, rap like them, have my hair crazy and act weird like them.
I think the thing with him is, I don't think he's the exact same. There was no growth into whatever situation. I don't know what his personal life is like, but when you see that, put a picture back into the 90s, and there's not a difference of that to where he is right now. So I don't know what his growth, I don't know what his experience is, what his life was, but that right there, if that's who you are, you feel comfortable, sure. But at the same time, like there has to be some type of growth when you're sitting there doing something and understanding what you're doing. Like you right now, you're at that age, you've been through what you've been through. What you would want someone to do is to guide the younger people not to do what you did. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. It's that situation it is. Instead of fitting in with them and telling them, okay, well, I want to rap, I want to do this, I'm going to be like you guys. All you're really doing is delaying your process to what you're doing. You know what I mean? The outcome of what your society. Because if you're like that and that's all you're doing, I can't see you having a successful life unless you're doing something illegal.
And it's like they frozen in time, like they stuck. Like I even pull up another video of Flavor Flav, stuck in time. Like you look at Flavor Flav, glasses, chain, he looked the same way he did with the clock, and that he's an 80s rapper. Stuck in time. So I mean, like just looking at him, he just looked like a clown. Like, and again, no disrespect to these dudes, but these guys are what, 40, 50 plus. At some point, I'm not saying that wearing chains and glasses and hats is something that is gonna be necessarily immature, but he's got a mouthful of grills. Like, what are we doing,
man?
Saying,
like he's another one that hasn't changed. Like that's who they are. So here's the thing too. Here's what's scary about the internet. When you become a character, if you don't know how to filter that character, you might well become that character. And if you become that character, now you always got to please to get what you want. And once you get there, that's a rabbit's hole that it's hard to get out of, buddy. So I've seen a lot of people, a lot of celebrities I've watched become something they're not, just because everybody perceived them to be that. And as they say, if you perceive to be something, you might as well be it. But if you're not comfortable in your own skin and you decide to do it, him thinking that, so what we're thinking about is like an adult wear normal clothes, sitting down there, that might make him feel totally uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So he only knows how to relate. So his information, no disrespect, I couldn't take information from him. You understand why? Because there's no growth into what he did. So as a grown man to another grown man, oh cool, I met Flavor Flav to what it is. But he ain't gonna give you no life choices. He ain't gonna help me on no life situations. That's not, you're pleasing to the kids.
Yeah.
Because that's the way you act, that's the way you look. So if that's what makes them feel comfortable, knock it out. But as an adult, there has to be some type of, I think there has to be growth in people. Even if there's growth in him and he still looks like that, if he's preaching the right messages and he feels comfortable, that's what he is. Yeah. But if you're still acting like the kids, yeah, you're just stuck in time.
And I agree with you. Celebrities, yes, they're different. It's a different ball game or a different. They live by a different set of rules. Celebrities.
Yeah.
But so I kind of understand with the Flavor Flav thing. But with the general public, grown men acting this way, I can understand women. They don't need to level up because men are going to pick them regardless of because they're gonna want to smash. But for men, why is it that men? Why we feel like we stuck in time? Why do we gotta equate masculinity to being hood or thug?
See,
these are the things that...
Here's the thing with being a guy, being a man is a very hard thing nowadays. Because nowadays you got a lot of different things that are going on in this world where it seems like men are being targeted. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit there and say, okay, yeah, but if you really look at it, it's not as simple as it was before, and there's a lot of entities that point at. Like if you're a strong, dominant male, you better have a real tough mental, because your liability, you're under a dog. Yeah. You know what I mean? A dog gets more love than you in a situation than you know what I mean? And you have to make everything connect. You have to go there, you have to do this, and when something else happens, it's like the Titanic. The men, the wife again, get the spirit boat and stuff like that. We gotta die. Yeah, we gotta so it's, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. Being a guy, it's not all what it cracked up to be. You may have a lot of perks, understand what it is, but on the back end, for everybody who doesn't make it, it's a mean situation that you gotta go through. So it's mental. It's tough mental. Man,
I agree. Like society is really tough on dudes, especially the family court system. It's just not. I think it's dated. They need to update. Because women are making money now, they're not just at home in the kitchen anymore. So they got to update the laws a little bit. But in closing, what would you say for men? Like, say you had a teenage son and he's all grown. If there's any guys or teenagers watching this show, what would you give or advice you would give to them to not be stuck mentally as they grow up? They're growing through time. What advice would you give them?
I would just say listen to information. The people that give you the information, depending where the information is coming from. As for myself, I would give my son the information that the things I went through. I couldn't add on and say, okay, because I see somebody on TV and then sit down there. I couldn't speak about those things. The only thing I can speak about is my things and the errors that I did wrong. If I'm oblivious to my errors, he's gonna repeat it. Yeah. So you're saying, so a lot of kids now that are growing up and you see a man on TV and you influence him, those guys you see on TV, you got to separate person from talent. Love their talent, love their work ethic, see how they get there, you mimic that. Personality-wise, it may not match yours, so you might not want to do the same thing they do. You see, because it won't allow, you might stud your growth, it might not allow you to be in an interview and talk properly in certain situations and understand, like kids nowadays are really emotional creatures. Like they're highly emotional, freaking out, killings, all sorts of stuff that are going on. So if there's no guidance and how to raise a kid or sit down here, how do you raise somebody younger? The only thing you can do is listen to information that people that you trust, and then how you take that information and how you go about it through your daily lives.
And I would like to add to what you're saying is, don't be afraid of trials and tribulations. It's okay to go through hard times.
Yeah.
When you go through hard times, you appreciate the good times.
That's what it is.
And it will also make you more, I guess, more resilient to adversity.
Yes, it is.
So you go through things. You might learn, either a bad breakup, you lost your job, you lost a friend. You learn how to go through that without getting through drugs, sex, picking all the bad vices.
Exactly.
You can go through life knowing that, okay, you know what? Maybe let me listen to some music, or let me hit the gym. Let me chop it up with a friend.
Yep.
So these, I think, are helpful ways of not being stuck mentally. And also get I would say a good mentor. Maybe someone that is a positive influence in your life. I know we kind of gravitate to things that are not good for us, but if you can find a positive influence, I think that will help as well. Because like you said, I think when you watch celebrities or somebody you look up to, like my favorite basketball player is Shaq. Like I know people like Jordan and LeBron and all that, but Shaq is my favorite player of all time. And I looked up to him in high school. I'd emulate how he played, his playing style. Like I mean, me and you play ball, and you see how I like to bang because I emulated Shaq. So I agree. Like sometimes you got to separate the talent from the person, and like. So what would you say, like if somebody, I guess, watching this does look up to somebody and they can't separate the talent from the person? How would they? Because you can't really see their personal life, but then social media kind of exposed because they're
always on social media. Anything on social media usually is what somebody wants you to see, unless someone's trying to trash you or bash you to whatever it is. So it's like I said, you can't a person. How you're gonna get somebody in person now? Like to be famous now, they're all in your business.
Yeah.
You can know about somebody anything they want to do, from what their investments they're into, how they treated a girlfriend, to whatever the situation is. So my thing is, when you see somebody that you like or understand, what do you like that person for? Do you like them because of the person, the way they treat a girl? Or do you like him because he can shoot a basket or because he can rap? However you like it, just understand the work that they put in to get there.
Yeah.
That's what you follow,
Facts.
that's what you emulate, and that's what you do. What they try to, if they're with banging 10 girls and 10 hoes and doing all, and they got sexual you separate the two, you know what I mean? Like, for like R. Kelly. Oh, R. Kelly did this. I get it, bro. Hey, man, did some dirt. But you can't tell me that dude, hey, next to Mike, this dude got some of the greatest music in the world. The situation is so, it's hard. I separated him. Like, I sit there and I can listen to his music without thinking, okay, I love this guy. I want to be exactly like him. I want to trap girls in the house and piss on them. I'm not doing none of that. You know what I mean? So it's at the same time, I can listen to his music and understand, because his music connects to when you're with a girl and you have a passion, or you're with somebody else, if you're with your mate, he can make some music that puts you in the mood to it or whatever it is. He's not all bad. Not everybody's all bad, but we're not all good. So what am I supposed to sit here and do? Not like the music no more because he made the mistakes or he did things that he did not grow out of, or he has habits? Yo, that's you over there. Your music, I'm cool with. You're diddling this, hey, bro, you're doing 30 years because of that. What do you want me to tell you? So.
Yeah, that's facts. And what would you say if you seen, like, if a kid's watching this, or say a teenager again watching this, what would you say to him what is masculinity? Because he's seen his friends, he's watching a 50 Cent or a Tupac, he's holding a burner, all these things, and he's thinking, I'm cool, whatever. How do you relay that message that, this is what masculinity is? We always talk about, or people, I should say society talks about toxic masculinity. Well, then what's healthy masculinity? What does that look like?
I think it's a strong, independent mind. Like if you can raise your kid to critical think in certain situations to whatever it is, that's a form of masculinity that can help him, because he's not intimidated, or he won't be influenced by somebody else to whatever it is, right? See, the thing with now,
and a protector too.
So the thing now is toxic masculinity. It's influential. People are too following each other and they're doing the same things. And right now, if someone comes up with an idea, so you and I came up with an idea, we made millions off it. Someone's coming right behind us to do the exact same thing. Whereas when we used to grow up, originality sold. You had to be an original person. No matter if it was a basketball, Iverson had a crossover, Mike had a fadeaway. Everybody had their own particular situation. Now everybody has the same thing. No matter, tweak it a little bit. So everybody, one podcast works, everybody gets 9 podcasts. Everybody, Dirk's shot works, everybody does the shirt. You know what I'm saying? So we're in that society where people see things and they follow it. So the only thing you can do as a society, if someone's watching this, and a kid, teenager is, learn how to be yourself by the errors of the people that are in front of you. See what I'm saying? So you've seen what they did wrong. If they're not going to tell you the things they did wrong, the only things they did right, you're going to duplicate their failures. You know what I mean? So it's up to the people who are older to give back to the kids, understand they're kids, we're done. You got to give to the kids, let the kids eat. You know what I mean? And that's how you figure it out.
And this is why I kind of admire Drake and LeBron, because they actually did what you just talked about.
That's what it is.
A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. Drake had such a long run because he saw what happened to Pac, Big, all these guys. He studied the game. Same thing with Bron. He saw what happened to Jordan, him leaving, coming back, and so he's like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna be a billionaire while I'm playing. And I'm gonna do the longevity thing. So that's why the whole debate of who's better. But at the end of the day, it's like, I totally agree. Like, you gotta learn from the people that came before you. And I would say too, with the positive masculinity, I would say a guy should be a protector. If you're an old head, if you're 50, 40 plus, and you stuck in trying to be a teenager chasing girls, still trying to, I don't know, you're still trying to rap and you're 50 plus, I mean, You have to learn. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I don't say give up on your dream, but there's certain times you just gotta
be an adult about it, bro.
You gotta transition with age.
You gotta be an adult about it, bro. Yeah, it's a way to do things. So if you still have it, you still gotta handle your responsibilities first, and then that's second. You know what I mean? Not to, like you said, don't quit your dream, but at the same time, understand it's just like, yo, you're 40, 50 odd, dressing like you're 20. It's not gonna get to where you want to go to. You know what I mean? It's not really gonna work. You're not gonna be a kid. You're, like if there's a kid that dresses 20 that raps just like you, they're gonna go with the kid that dresses 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're gonna a 40 that goes to 20. They're not gonna do that, or 30 that goes to. They're not gonna do all of that, bro. You know what I mean?
And you can still dress quote unquote young. You can still dress quote unquote young. You just can't, like, I mean, if you're a grown man, skinny jeans and
like you just gotta know your age.
Yeah,
that's another thing too. Like, I guess I am not gonna do that. I'm gonna say, you know what? Dress as you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But what happens when the comfortable that you feel, if you're following people because you feel comfortable with what they wear and you want to dress what they wear, there's a backlash to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So especially when you get to a certain group, you're only going to be able to relate to certain people. And it's unfortunately the world we live in. What you look like, people judge you from. How you dress. If I came in here in a suit, people look at me different than I came in here my pants sagging. You know what I mean? So it's where you want to go and where you want to be, because the people who have the money, they're the influence of what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Facts. So, and I really want to emphasize mindset. Hang out with like-minded people, man.
That's going to help you, bro.
If you 50, 40 plus, and you hang out with 18-year-olds or 14-year-olds like Jackson was on O Block, it's going to bring you down. Like, if you're trying to get money, hang out with people who either has money or who's going to get there. They have that mindset.
Yeah, show you what it is, yeah.
And then you won't end up, they say that there's a saying, shoot for the moon. If you miss, you're still amongst the stars.
Still got sky, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's just really what it is.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
I think kids nowadays have too much idle time though. A lot of times they're not focused on what they need to do. They're always in their phones. A lot of them are always in their phones. And if you're in your phones that much, you're gonna be influenced by what you see. So
and that's what affects the critical thinking.
That's what it is.
You're frying your brain just looking at things, and not feeding information.
Nothing. You're not getting nothing out of the situation. You're just seeing what somebody's doing. Or I want to hear this. that's a cool highlight. I want to do this. Like, you waste. There's a thing on your phone. I don't know if other Androids and all those phones that have them. I don't know the iPhone. It tells you how much hours you're on your phone for the day. It pops up on the situation. If you're on your phone and it's 8 to 10 to time, all this, and you're not getting nothing out of that phone, what are you doing? Like, you just wasted 8 to 10 hours out of the day, did nothing back, only to see what other people are doing to whatever it is. Your day is gone after 10 hours. Just like that. That's gone. 8 ain't coming back. So you got to understand what you're going to do when you see your phone. Make your phone work for you, not, you know what I mean? Don't sit there and just sit down and let the phone turn you into a dummy.
I know people who flick through pictures, IG, Facebook, Snapchat. They just flick through pictures
all
day. You're frying your brain.
You're gone, bro. Like, you spent 8 hours just sitting there looking at what someone else wants, and you don't even know how to go get it. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. So just understand what you want and listen to the people ahead of you, bro. They usually have the situation, because what's scary now is the influence of these kids now. So look at the young entertainers now. They can't influence anybody, bro. They telling everybody just to do the wrong. Like, it's all wrong is pills, you know what I mean? Pop pills, spend your money. Our money sitting here doing, why? Why are you know what I mean? Like, it's not, those guys that are doing those things are getting paid for you to do that. They're not spending their money doing that. So when you think that's cool to sit here and do that, you waste your money, then the cycle just goes all over again, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, man. Another great topic. I would just like to say my closing thoughts. I think men, we really got to step up. I think masculinity is definitely dying, and we just need to, like you said, critically think. We need to be able to step up as leaders, and not just toxic. I think there's toxic humanity. I don't think everybody has toxic traits, but I think for men, I think if we bring back positive, or make men in more of a positive light, I think we need to get back to being protectors. I think we need to practice more dick discipline, like I talked about in past podcasts, that sleeping with a lot of women, it's nice, it's fun, it's good, but the downsides to it, STIs, babies, that could affect you financially. So a lot of this stuff is too, and then I think that also correlates with being a high value man. If you can control yourself sexually, I think not only will girls look up to you, but dudes can look like, yo, you turned that down? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it works. Yeah, that
I'll be
works.
like, yo, dude,
Yeah,
you're better than me. I look you dead in the face, like, you're better than me. Like,
yeah, that works. Yeah, that's real talk.
So,
So if you're focused, man, as a kid too, like I just said, parents and the older people, the older generation, don't quit on the kids, man.
yeah.
You got to give the kids the right information, and don't give them the highlights. Give them the things you did wrong, so they know not to do the certain things.
Facts.
You know what I mean? If you want to, you want to sprinkle yourself and say you were good. All right, fine. You can tell them the good things, but don't just sit there and dwell on the good things, and then those kids think that that's the way to live. Nah, you got to let them know. A guy who's not perfect, that's who you want to talk to, because you're going to see some trials and tribulations of what he went through, and you'll be like, oh, okay, now I understand. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? So. The older cats, look out for the kids, bro, because the kids, they need some guidance, because right now everybody's misleading everybody to get a change, and money's not there at all, bro. You know what I mean?
man.
So
Well,
figure it out.
well, on that note, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we'll be back with another one.
We out.